Well, this is the new type of question, okay? It's telling consider the given expression, verify algebraically that equation is an identity. So means we have two thing and we have one thing on the right hand side, left hand side and the right hand side, and you have to just prove that they're equal to each other. Okay, so you can take the one of it. I will try to do the both of it. Okay, so basically the first, I have to prove that this cosine x over secant x times sine x equals to, and just the cosecant x take away just the sine x. If I prove that, okay, that the left hand side equals to that, that means this expression is true. Okay, let's get started. So basically I'm going to take this part, like the first part, cosine x over just the secant x times the sine x. Okay, so the I will use the expressions. I like this is just the, we are going to have the cosine x on the top, but instead of seconds I will write just 1 over just the cosine x multiplied by sine x, which is going to give me just the cosine x over sine x over cosine x, right? So which is going to give me, so this actually means we are dividing cosine by sine x divided by cosine x, which means it turn out like cosine x actually is multiplied by just the cosine x over sine x, right? So which is just giving us cosine squared x divided by sine x. So this is not still equals to what we are looking for. Okay, so I have to make more simplify here. Instead of cosine squared x, I can write using the Pythagorean identity 1 take away sine squared x divided by sine x. So what will I do then? Divide each numerator individually by sine x. So I mean here 1 divided by sine x, take away the sine squared x divided by sine x. This is the same as we got on the top, we got here. Okay, those both of them same as this. So 1 over sine x means just the cosecant x, take away, okay, just the sine squared x divided by sine x is just the sine x. So as you saw, I got the same stuff. It was equals to, okay, just basically I will verify that. Okay, this is enough to get your marks. Okay, this is enough. But let's try to do the second part. Okay, what if I want to consider with the second part? I'm talking about the right hand side. How I'm supposed to just write, this is the second part, cosecant x take away sine x equals to the first part. Okay, let's consider with it. So cosecant is just the 1 over sine x, right? Take away a sine x. So which means it's actually 1 take away sine squared x divided by a sine x, right? So the sine squared x is itself, 1 take away sine squared itself is just the cosine squared x. We already use it, like cosine squared x plus sine squared x equals to 1. That means cosine squared x equals to 1 take away sine squared x divided by a sine x. So instead of writing cosine squared x divided by sine squared x, sine x, let's just write cosine x times just the cosine x divided by sine x. As you see, this is the same as we got here. Like we're gonna multiply cosine by the numerator of the fraction, which will be cosine squared x. Okay, so cosine squared itself, okay, because we have here thing, like because the cosecant equals to secant equals to 1 over cosine, that means cosine itself will be just 1 over secant x, right? Cosine is equals to 1 over, they are the reciprocal of each other, multiply by just the cosine x divided by sine x. So which is basically equals to cosine x divided by secant x multiplied by the sine x, which is the thing we were looking for on the top. Okay, just cosine x divided by secant x multiplied by sine x. That's it. So both ways working. Like it doesn't, you don't have to do this all in two way. The one way enough to get your mark, okay? So do like verify left hand side equals to right hand side, or just start from right hand side, make it equals to left hand side. That's it to get your full point. But don't forget, give your reason, okay? So giving the reason, for example, why we took 1 over 1 take away sine square x as a cosine square x. Okay, so you have to write at that part, you have to write, okay, in this part you have to write cosine square x plus the sine square x equals to 1. That's why I use it here to get this one. Okay, you have to give your reason why did you take it.